So with Black Friday around the corner, the question is, how do you prepare? We've probably got 2 weeks, give or take, away from it. We've got FC Pro Live coming up next week, which, to be honest, is probably going to be more of a missed promo. Depending on if you follow the actual pro scene, they might have a few good players in there. We've obviously got Garnacho coming, and I believe there is a screen somewhere that we can see who is actually, like, we've got the free that you can kind of see. Don't know if it's on here or if it's somewhere. Don't know. There it is. So if you're looking for coins, head over to eldorado.gg. There is huge amounts of verified sellers on Eldorado, and there is a money back guaranteed by TradeShield. If that's not enough, there is 24/7 live support and also plenty of reviews across websites that will definitely put your mind at ease. And as always, before you check out, make sure that you are using the code JT11 for 5% off every single order. Back to the video. So we've got Nunez, we've got Garnacho, and I can't remember who the other one is. Let me know down below. I'm sure it's probably been out. But with the FC Pro Live, they're cards that will go up with the performance based of the pros. Now, when it comes to Black Friday, we know there is promo cards, there is SBCs, there is evolutions. How do you prepare for it in a game like this? Because it seems to be that they've given us all the tools and it's just boring to do. Like, they've given us everything. They've even said on the upgrades, here's an 85 to 87 that you can still get promo cards out of. Maybe not the craziest, but you can still get promo cards and you'll have 5 a day. Even that I can't be bothered to upgrade. The base hero, it's there for free 3 times every, week or so. I still can't be bothered to do that either. So it is at a point where it's a very weird grinding scenario. I think the game itself is just, I don't even know. I feel like everybody's scratching their heads to say, why isn't this game competing? And yes, gameplay is always going to be a massive issue. I think that is already kind of the big topic of the game. I don't think the content in itself is misused as such. Tournaments, fantastic, great, bring back. Gauntlets, quite like the idea. Could implement it more as well, but I like the idea. We've obviously had different league SBCs, nation SBCs, could have been better in my eyes. I think when you look at the European one and just see one French player, one Italian, and I'm like, I get it. I do understand that they're not giving us a full league SBC for this, but why not? Like for the whole month, why not give us one? I mean, I know we'll probably then want it more and more, but I mean, still, it's a World Cup year. I don't see the problem with that as such. Make it into the old format of League SBC. I was always a big fan of the premium and minor in this time round. I get it. It's easier. It's more compact. I much preferred the kind of full League SBC grind. It was great on the game, even when gameplay wasn't crazy. You could literally spend hours. Bronze pack into Huesca, into Vallecano, into obviously your, it'd have been like Swansea and stuff like that in terms of championship. That was the lower Premier League, not many golds in there. They were the ones that you kind of wanted, and unfortunately they changed that, and it's grindable, but it's boring. Like, I mean, you are doing the same 4, and I know that's the same principle for obviously the Prem and the La Liga one, but you had so many more teams to do, it does feel a little bit more fun. You could spend the whole day doing that, and because you're not finishing the same SBC, or you're not finishing all in once, it's a big release once you actually get it finished. And having all them SBC cards would have helped massively with all of the grindability, because you got all these players, they got all these icon picks and hero picks, and they're adding more in here. I don't need any of them. That's the problem. So you've got all of these players, like even Di Maria. I would love to do, but it's just not needed. Rashford, great card. I've already got an evolution. So there needs to be a direction going. I feel like they're being pulled left, right, and centre. Because even when you look at the Evos, I'm really solely trying to just do a Manu kind of Evo list. I've got a few in there if Manu doesn't fit. I'll throw in a Zaha to get him into an 85. We've obviously got Cherokee because he looks outrageous in that star in motion. Plus I already did a Acuna. I've already done a Sesko. So we're kind of just slowly getting up there with Evos. But even then, I'm like, some of these Evos, they take over a lot of the main characters. And yes, you've got a bit of coins to put in them, but I don't really spend the coins on anything. So it is a very misdirection sort of thing. Like, promo cards come and go whenever you can. Obviously, the objectives, there's been plenty that you can kind of grind through from all of your seasonal stuff. You've obviously got these to finish. There is just a lot going on, but not a clear direction in where you're going to. So it is a bit interesting in that aspect of the game. Now, the way I personally would prepare in terms of Black Friday, we know full well that there is going to be SBCs of high and low natures. We are going to see flash challenges. We're going to see flash evos. What I personally would be doing is club stocking as much as possible. We know from last year, we had like Desai as an icon, Raul, Jarzinho, Patrick, then obviously in Winter Wildcard a bit further later on down the line we had Hullet, who was fantastic. There's a lot of different upgrades. We even had Dalglish as well by the looks of it, which is going to be another one that you could throw on that list. Then you've obviously got the objectives that you could do, the daily play. We had Loftus-Cheek. So there was lots to do in the game. So the way I personally would be doing it right now, and if we're thinking 2 weeks on from now, you can obviously finish these. I don't think these are going to hindrance too much. Personally, I don't really save packs as much now. I think they do give you a solid amount. But the one thing that I'd definitely be doing is getting all of these finished every day. So your daily bronze, silver, and gold, as much as you can get pretty much done out, I would 100% recommend, just because of the players that you can get. Now, I would definitely be keeping major leagues for this point at the moment, especially, like I say, for League SBCs, not necessarily to complete them right now, but if we find that maybe the actual grind process that they give us isn't crazy, you can fall back onto that with a lot of players. And failing that, if it is a good grind and say you've just got to get golds, you've already then got a solid amount already in there. May only be League SBC, but you can at least put them in. So these bronzes are just going to be perfect to whack in, as many as you personally can get in there. So I would be doing all of the daily stuff every single day from now until then at the very minimum. So that is going to be kind of like your number one step. All of the upgradable stuff, get out. So daily bronze, silver, gold, common gold, and also the daily rare upgrade, get them all done. From there, obviously then we have the 2x80. If you wanted to save some of them with some fodder that you've got, by all means, happily. But just remember, they might give us an 81 double. They might give us a player pick, always to be kind of looked at. Then we also have the 85 to 87. Now, this could be an interesting one to say the least, because I believe from the same format of if you open a bronze pack and a bronze card has got a team of the week, you necessarily should be able to get that team of the week. So if we was to put that into practice for the promo right now, and I can't speak for before, if we was to look at somebody like, who is an 88? So say we got Heaps, she has come from an 87. Theoretically, this is not going to work for everybody, obviously. Theoretically, she is within that 85 to 87 as her base. So if she was to be able to get herself this 88 that she's got now, we should be able to get her in this pack. So if I was to take that just as an example, is kind of where I'm going for other promos. If I was potentially looking at 87s, if I was going for the highest priced, I mean, gold would be phenomenal. Gold. Okay. Gold. If you was looking at the highest price, you'd be looking at, say, like a Frankie. Say if for whatever reason this next promo, the Thunderstruck and kind of the Winter Wildcard gave us like a crazy promo, Frankie went up to a 90. Theoretically, he should be there. And same with 85s, 86s, if they've jumped up to an 89, they should be in this upgrade pack, I believe. But regardless of that, I think it will be good to have these as well. So if you can justify putting some of your 83s in, I wouldn't go all out. I'd try and grind a little bit. If you want to do some League SBC, in the anticipation to build your club, fantastic. If not, then I don't think it will be that crazy of a thing to go against. So daily golds, bronze, silvers, rares, all that jazz. Obviously then if you've got the, the prime, I think you've got to do these. These are tradable. Obviously do that as well. That's always going to be fantastic. Any of your challenge SBCs that we have, I think is an absolute must as well. You obviously have all of them. Like I say, you can either save packs or not. I don't think it's necessarily that crazy of a detriment to you as long as your club is stocked and you could potentially do upgrades as we do go along. So then what I would kind of go for there is if I am doing League SBCs or if I am doing upgrades, I'd be then looking at the 85 to 87s, trying to get like a full storage of like 83s and above. And then from there, really, I'd be looking at kind of your bronze packs, maybe then the bronze upgrades to really stock up as much as you can. Mainly because you can either go one or two ways of it. you either stock up as much as possible. You get the Serie A's in there, plenty of leagues, because this is going to be another good point to potentially get some coins from here. So I haven't really mentioned much about the bronze pack because, to be honest, it's been a bit quiet at the moment. But if you remember, a lot of these flash SBCs that come every hour, there normally is 1, 2, or 3 of them that do require like bronze rares, bronze specific stuff. And major nations are going to be important. Your left wing, right wing is always valuable. Sometimes fullbacks are, but again, they can change the position, so it is just, say, a free back rather. So then you're kind of looking at your cams. Basically, the reason why this happens, and for instance, I would put him up for 200 at the moment just because he is Serie A. The reason why that happens is because they need, say they go max chemistry for it. So you need 33. If there is only so many people in that position, for instance, if you needed Argentinian's quite a lot actually, say you needed like a Prem English left wing or Championship English left wing, that's a terrible example as well. French, because England have like 5 divisions. Say you need a French left wing, there could only be so many of them. And that's what's going to cause a massive panic for people to go that way rather than think of the other way. So rather than potentially put in somebody who is a left back that can play left wing, sometimes they don't show up. So you've got to kind of look at the players and the positions and just stock up your club a solid amount. So obviously, like if you've got someone like this, if you need centre backs and there's just only so many in the French league for whatever reason, then people will be buying him, or you could float him on the market for a little bit cheaper and kind of sell him out, because the people that do see that he can play there, obviously is going to be a fantastic one as well. But realistically, that is going to be the bog standard. Like you're going to be, you can do silver packs. I don't think they're as worth it nowadays. They've really stopped them with the fact that the kits only go for 300 now. They were kind of your saving grace. But trying to kind of just get your club to a very good level, trying not to basically give out a lot of high rated stuff, because they're going to. Over the next week, I guarantee during the FC Pro Live, we will get SBC after SBC to try and get all your fodder gone. You might get a solid player that come out, and it's all in anticipation to completely rinse your clubs of anybody 86 and above. They do it every year. They'll do it just prior to Team of the Year. They'd like give you a Haaland SBC, but then your Mao will come out as a Team of the Year with a triple icon, triple playstyle plus. It is just that kind of basis, because then you have to open packs. So trying to keep as many walkouts in there as possible, even if you have a full storage, you have a full club, everything's going well, potentially then you could go ahead and just keep the packs there. Like, we're going to have plenty of objectives from now until then, trying to just finish off as many as you can, even if they are the small packs. Hold them. I mean, it doesn't really change anything in this game at this point. Like, if I finish Gundogan, we obviously get him. We get a 2x82. I could hold that. I mean, it's not guaranteeing me anything good, but at least it's something at the very minimum. Then obviously from there, you could then go ahead and buy players. Like if you do look at Footbin, a great way to have a look at what sort of players you want to be getting. Go over to SBCs and you'll see cheapest player by rating. From here, you can obviously see all of the cheap ones. So for instance, we know full well like Hincapié for the other team, wherever he came from. Can't remember. Is it Leverkusen? I want to say it's Bundesliga, but say he's obviously not in this list. But you can then go ahead and see like Guriassi. You can see the 87s at the moment at 10k. You can go and have a look and see, are they up or down? So we know Guriassi is 11% down. If they start giving us icon after icon every other day, every other hour, you know full well the general market shift is going to be fantastic. So maybe taking that little bit of a hit at the moment. We're on quite a bit of a low. It's not the lowest we've seen, but also it's definitely nowhere near the highest that we've seen. So potentially this could be a good moment to potentially buy and then keep one of everybody. So quite literally, instead of like obviously the Pateuses, Bonmatis, they're just not going to be cheap. But if you do go pick up every 83 that is 750, every 84, you could then go pick up every 87. Coins are obviously needed in this, but potentially just pick a couple from each then. If you've not necessarily got hundreds of thousands, go ahead and just pick up like 180, 190, 189, 188, or then you could go and maybe buy a couple of high rated ones and then just buy loads of the lower rated ones. That's personally what I would be looking at. So just going down the list and just ticking off everybody that you've got in your club to make sure you've got one of everybody to either sell or to put back into these SBCs. If you see, for instance, randomly, you've got somebody like, who would be a great example? Say you've got, I don't know if Gwen can play both, but say You'd be English strikers. Trying to think who's got that same, you want kind of like that same nation but same position. So say if you had like Schürrle and Gomez, for instance, say they both were 86 German strikers, you just needed a German striker and there's only two in the game. You could potentially put your one in there and then sell the other one for profit, or at least profit that comes back for putting Schürrle in there. And then other than that, you could sell everybody and not do the SBCs. I mean, that's another way that you could make some money off this. So it is just good to get everything club stocked just for the future in general as well, especially we're on a low point. The one thing I've noticed, unless the game's fully dead, they tend to go back up at some point. It may not be for long, it may even be for the night, but you should be able to get everything sold within that night. So it's a good point to potentially try and club stock whilst we are on an incredible low across everybody. Fodder players are down at the moment, and normally when it comes to a big promo like Thunderstruck, like Winter Wildcard, you tend to find some big SBCs. The Hullet raised the market massively for that Winter Wildcard one, so there is a potential there. If you're looking away from obviously just players in general, it could be a potential to buy Team of the Weeks. Again, if you look at Team of the Week 10, there is so many that you could look at, like Gnabry at 12k for an 85 is a steal. Archibald, easy steal. You've even got the 86s on here. Absolutely, they're going to be priceless. Even if you wanted to go as far to say as 32 for a 90, that's probably as low as a potential 90 here. So if you look at the 90s in general, we're looking at 28. So we're basically paying the second cheapest 90 on the game, who is an inform. If that comes up that we get an Henry, for instance, an Henry comes out as a Thunderstruck icon. He might be one rating lower, one rating higher, but you need an inform team and you need a 90 rated team with an inform. That shoots up 100%. The 90s will shoot up massively and you will be able to kind of cash out on all of these as well. So definitely have a look at a few of these just to have a potential of an easier one, because players can go down. Team of the Week's already at the floor. Like we've already said, with 13k here, the likely chance that a Team of the Week drops below 11k, which it can only go to 10. It can only go to what, 1075. You would lose 2k per card. That ain't happening. They have still not had a price boom yet. They have just known down. That is pretty much all the card has known is this price. As soon as we start getting icon after icon that will require Team of the Weeks, easy profit at the very minimum. So having some on your transfer list, I've kind of just been holding on to them now that these have been for weeks and weeks now that I've been holding on to them. So definitely look at that. You have got your storage, you've got your transfer list, then obviously you've got your club if you've obviously got them there as well. I don't know how many I've actually got in terms of in the club that are tradable. We can definitely find out. So I want to go highest quick sell first, so that should be right. So I've got these. So I've got what, 9 of them in general so far that are tradable. I could definitely go pick up a hell of a lot more and potentially start looking at some of the higher ones just to, like I say, look at that 86 and you'll be able to find them. Like for instance, Jeremy, he's going to be a great example. He's brand new onto the game, so there should be more than plenty available for him. We've clicked on managers, but there should be more than plenty of him on there. And even if you need to bid for him, if you've got everything stuck, just put a cheeky bid on him. Try and just go for quite a few of them and kind of do it that way. So if we look here now, have I picked the wrong one? There was 2 Jeremys on there. Yeah, that's right. So if you look at him here, so like you could see these last few, you could just literally go ahead and well, not buy now, but actions, and then just whack a little cheeky bid on 10.5. It doesn't hurt at the very minimum to put a bid on him, and if he does go, keep him in the storage and just wait for him. But then, like I say, there is still plenty that you can buy prior to the market. So if we look at probably more closer to 12.5 maybe, these are going exactly for that 13. So you got the 13 here. I'll just go pick one up, add him to the, well, add him to the club, but add him to the squad, whack him in the club. I'll see him later for that upgrade. They're going to be the ways that I personally would be looking at for Black Friday. I'd be just trying to do as much as maintenance as I can, and maybe looking at SBCs that I want to complete, but realistically now, the base icons, the hero packs, I'd possibly leave out for at the moment, just because they're going to try and bring you in with a lot more SBCs soon. Especially I would now possibly be waiting for the full base icon rather than necessarily the max. I think the full base, when we get it, is going to be worth completing at least a couple of times, and then eventually we will upgrade again into Thunderstruck icons, Winter Wildcard icons and heroes. There will be plenty as we do progress through it, and hopefully the upgrades do get better and better as well. But apart from that, it's really all you can do at the moment, and I think when I look at the game, I could kind of understand why people don't want to. It is very stagnant at the moment. It is just kind of just a waiting game to see if they do a patch, or if they kind of grind something out. Obviously doing your rivals and all of that jazz is going to be well worth it. Tournaments, if you can do them, fantastic. Loads of rewards in tournaments. I need to actually start finishing off a lot of these, because you can get a solid amount of players for it. So it is most definitely worth having a look at the very minimum. So let me know down below, are you excited for Thunderstruck? I think it should give a little bit of life into the club, and then obviously we will go into the Winter Wildcards, and then hopefully into a very good team of the year, which is kind of the point of the game at this point. It is very much on the kind of seasons. Team of the year, team of the season, maybe a FUT birthday, then obviously going into a footies, going into a shapeshifter is always a good promo, then into the World Cup as well. Hopefully we do get things that allow us to play the game a little bit more during. I think swaps would be a perfect thing to bring back. Whether they do, we will obviously see. It came back in Winter Wildcard last time, so hopefully that does happen again. But we're nearly at a new season as well. Definitely be finishing off that. Let me know if there's any other tips that you're doing right now. Make sure you leave a subscribe down below, and I'll catch you all for that next one. Peace.